Okay, so we just built an array. So it's, forget about that we filled it in over here in the list box, but we built it by declaring it here. And then we filled it in here. So now we have the array. It's filled in with these values. Now, we talked about for next loops. There's another kind of slightly different, only slightly different example, type of loop called a for each next loop. So we write for each instead of for, and then we say each, and then this is just any arbitrary name here. It doesn't matter what you put in here. As it has to be a data type in a structure. So what structure? So we're going to put here our array. So basically what we're going to do is for each, and this thing here is just completely arbitrary. You can call it anything. You can just call it X, you can call it P, you can call it friend, you can call it friend name, call it anything. It doesn't matter what you call it. Just suppose it's X. For each X as a string, so it should be it's of type string in my friends. Now, did he make a mistake here? I think the name of the array is not my friends, but rather friends, right? Yeah, so it shouldn't be my friends here. It should be friends. Okay? Okay, so it should look like this, right? For each, as I said, it can be anything here as string in friends. The reason why it's string is because our array was an array of strings. So for each, let's just call this X. For each X in friends, and then add the first one, the second one, the third one. It's going to keep going through this loop until it exhausts the friends list, or the friends array. So it's going to go to the 0th element of friends, and then the first element of friends, and second and third, as we called them, and fill them in the list box. So actually, it's going to do exactly the same thing as what we did over here, but we're going to use a loop to do this instead of doing it this way. Okay, so we're using this new structure, slightly new, called for each, and we're going to accomplish the same thing. It's going to, let's say this was X, for each X in our array, and then add it to our list box. So we're going to add the first one, then we're going to go back and check, is there still another one in here? We're going to add it, and then we're going to go back and check. So notice that this and this have to match. So if this was X, then this should be X. If this is called friend name, then this should be friend name. As long as they match, it doesn't matter what you call them. So here it is. For each F, now it uses F, we could have used X, in the friends in our array, and then add F. So that's going to do exactly the same thing here. He says it's more efficient and easier to read, and it's robust to changes. That means, in other words, if you make a bigger array, instead of just having these 4, suppose you had 10 people in your array, then if you're going to do it the other way, you'd have to keep adding them, add more items here. But if you're going to do it this way, once you've created your array, you can just do this. And it's going to be exactly the same code, but it's going to put in all 10 people in here. Okay, so that's an example of using an array in the for each next loop, in the for each next loop.